Here is my team selection ahead of game week 27. Who will be my captain and what transfers will I make? Let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Roo and welcome back to another FPL video. So like I said in today's video, I'm going to be looking at my game week 27 team, going through my captain choice and my transfers. Before that though, I did want to say thanks to everyone that tuned into my deadline stream on the weekend. Please make sure you do subscribe so you get notified, put the notification bell on when I do a live deadline stream. And please like this video too. Let's try and get to 50 likes. Before I get onto my game week 2017, I did want to talk about game week 26. So all my players have played. I've only got Areola on my bench who hasn't played yet at the time of recording. So for me, there's no need to really wait for Areola's bench points when I've got Raya, and Raya did start off with Raya and Gabriel, I guess, as a duo. Kind of disappointing that they never kept a clean sheet. So they were doing so well up until I think it was the last 20 minutes, even before that, I think, that Newcastle scored a goal. And yeah, it was disappointing not to get a double clean sheet, but yeah, it's just one of them things, I think. And Gabriel as well, his header for Arsenal's first goal went down as an own goal. For me, I don't know, I feel like that should have been down as a Gabriel goal. It was on target. I know Botman kind of put it in after the keeper saved it, but surely it should have been an assist. I'm not really too sure, because I feel like FPL changed their rules every week. And yeah, obviously it's annoying as I did own Gabriel, but I feel like that should have been an assist, because if it was a shot and then an Arsenal player put in the rebound, then it would have been an assist. So yeah, anyway, it's not a big deal. Would have been 4 points. Maybe Gabriel would have got a few bonus points, but yeah, the clean sheet was definitely annoying. The rest of the defense pretty bad as well. Stupinan benched again. I guess it wasn't a bad decision for my team. He got 30 minutes and Senesi on my bench got 1.2. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. I wasn't really expecting much from him. I just felt like I'd rather Stupinan coming off the bench and potentially starting over Senesi playing Manchester City. And in the end, they both scored the same, so it wasn't a massive deal. Moreno over -1. Moreno's just very frustrating at the moment for me. He came off around the 58th minute, around that time, 60th minute. So he only ended up getting 1 appearance points, then he ended up getting a yellow card as well. So that is a bit annoying for me as a Moreno owner. Also with Moreno, it's frustrating because the fact that he is so attacking, he gets into good areas, he has had a couple disallowed goals while I've been owning him. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, and yeah, hopefully that was just a kind of tactical change rather than an injury, because I haven't actually seen that being an injury. But yeah, let me know in the comments if it was an injury. But yeah, -1 is not what you want really, especially when he was playing Forest at home. It's a good fixture, and yeah, expected more from him. But his teammate, my transfer in for game week 26, Douglas Luiz, done the business for me. Absolutely buzzing when I woke up this morning. Obviously, I'm in Australia, so I had to watch the games in the morning when I woke up, and I was buzzing, half asleep, watching Douglas Luiz put away 2 goals, none of them penalties as well. So for all of you out there that did say, oh, you're only bringing him in for penalties, well, 2 goals, no penalties, happy days. For me, I'm just buzzing. Even if he blanks over the next 3 game weeks, I don't really care, because I've got 15 points from him now, 2 goals. Anything from here is a bonus. Only 5.6 million, 10% owned. Yeah, for me, over the moon with Douglas Luiz. So salute to you, Mr. Luiz. Garnacho, a bit of a disappointment, I say, this game week. Fulham at home, I expected big things from him, but I was a bit worried that Højlund was obviously injured, so it could affect Manchester United's attacking free. And I think it did, to be honest. Fulham were the better side by miles. They probably should have won by more than 2-1. And yeah, a bit annoying with Garnacho, but again, his price tag, what he's done for me previously, I can't be too annoyed. Foden just keeps delivering. Honestly, like uh, since I bought him in, he's just done so well. Like he got I think I bought him in around game week 20. I think it was on my wild card. 12 points, then 6 points against Burnley, a hat trick in game week 23, and then a goal in game week 26. He did blank 3 games in a row. Obviously, there's only 2 game weeks because he doubled in 25. But yeah, Foden has just been so consistent this season. I think he started near enough every game, 24 starts and City have played, I think, about 25 or 26 games now, because they did play their blank game week. But yeah, Foden, it's gonna be tough to take him out eventually, which I think I'm gonna need to, but we'll talk about that later on in the video. Saka does it again. Fair play to those that did captain Saka. He got a goal, he got 10 points. That's 3 double digits in a row. Basically, almost 4 double digits in a row. He got 10, 9, 15, 15, 10. So yeah, the guy's on fire, to be honest. And yeah, I do feel a bit sorry for those that did take him out to get a Liverpool midfielder, and hopefully you've got him back in now. Solanke disappointing, but it's City at home. Probably should have scored last minute. Edison with a pretty good save, but yeah, like I said, Solanke's done well for me. I'm a bit worried about Bournemouth's form though. They haven't won in 7 game weeks now, which is pretty bad. They started off the season without winning in 9, I think it was. I just counted now, 3, 6, yeah, 9. So yeah, they've had a tough start to the season and a tough last 7 games. So yeah, I'm hopeful they do turn this around, because I thought they were a half decent team this season, but we'll talk about more about Bournemouth later on in this video. Haaland ended up getting an assist, captain. I probably wasn't going to go anywhere else, to be honest. I know some people did go for Saka. Some people went for maybe a Foden or Watkins, but yeah, I was never not going to put it on Haaland, so I can't be too mad at myself for that one. And then Watkins with a goal and assist, but only 9 points, which is, you don't really see that often. A guy getting 2 attacking returns and only getting 9 points with no bonus. But I guess the fact that Douglas Luiz absolutely smashed it, got 2 goals. Also the fact that Leon Bailey played and he ended up getting a goal and assist. So for me, I completely understand why, but it probably is a bit disappointing knowing that your striker has got a goal and assist and he hasn't got any bonus. But yeah, the bonus did go 3 to Luiz, 2 to Bailey, 1 to John McGinn, who ended up getting an assist only. So that was a bit odd why he got that. But yeah, I guess I can't really complain with that one. But yeah, overall, really happy with how my game week's gone. So at the current stage of recording, so this is before the Wolves v Sheffield United game, my rank has gone up quite a lot. I'd say I'm about 370,000. I've gone up to about 185,000. I'm expecting this to drop to at least 200,000, because I know a lot of people are playing people on their subs bench, auto subs will come on, etc., etc. If I end the game week with 250,000, I'll be over the moon. But yeah, really good game week for me. And yeah, looking forward to game week 27. Let's get on to the team selection. So we'll start off with the goalkeeper. So David Raya gets the start for me with Sheffield United away. Probably if West Ham were on a bit more form, there could be a bit of a competition between Areola and Raya. But for me, I'd much rather play Raya with Sheffield United away. It's a better fixture. Arsenal a better defence. There's not really competition. In terms of the last game week, as I've mentioned, they did concede against Newcastle, but before that, they kept 2 clean sheets in a row, and I think that they are one of the best defenses in the league. In terms of expected goals conceded for Arsenal and for David Raya, 0.66. So they're expected to concede under a goal a game. It's like a goal every other game, basically, maybe a bit more, but yeah, for me, that's really good. Obviously, with David Raya probably not getting as many saves and save points as other keepers. So, for example, in terms of saves, he's kept 33 total, which is 1.57 per 90, which is not enough to get an extra point. So you're meant to get 3 to get an extra point. So obviously, he's not going to get loads of a save. Really, he's only going to get 6 points here and there. But now that I've got Gabriel as well alongside him, I think it is a nice balance to have where I'm not too sure how many people actually have the double Arsenal defence. I know there's been a bit of talk around it, and maybe it's quite popular on the X community, etc., but I can't see many teams with the double Arsenal defence, to be honest, and having Raya rather than Saliba gives me that little bit of a differential if maybe there's a penalty to be saved, or maybe Raya does end up getting some save points. But yeah, really happy going into game week 27 with these two. Talk about Gabriel. His expected goals was 0.21 against Newcastle. I think that goal still should have been given to him, but I guess it's just one of them things. This season he's got 3 goals, 1 assist, so not too bad, not too bad. Last season he got 3 goals. Season before that he got 5 goals. So I think he should be able to beat his 5 goals tally. And yeah, for me, Gabriel is the most attacking Arsenal defender, and yeah, happy to have him in my team as of last week. Senesi gets a start this game week. There has been a lot of talk about him being on 8 yellow cards, which is obviously an issue because if he does get a yellow card in this game and gets a yellow card in the first game of a double game week in game week 28, then he will miss game week 28 second game and game week 29 if they do have a fixture. So he could end up having a single game week, and we won't know until basically the first game of game week 28. So that is a bit worrying. Hopefully he can avoid that yellow card in game week 27 against Burnley away, which is a really, really nice fixture for him. Bournemouth's form has been terrible. They haven't won in 7. So I'm not overly confident of this clean sheet, but I'm just thinking if they're going to keep a clean sheet, it's going to be against Burnley. They've been terrible this season. And Senesi can get a goal or 2 as well. So he's got 3 goals, 2 assists this season, only 18 starts as well. So we've been talking about Gabriel as a goal machine. Senesi's got the same amount of goals and 1 more assists in about 7 less starts than Gabriel. So really happy to go into this game with Senesi starting against Burnley. Alex Moreno gets a start as well, Luton away. Very frustrating player. He's got me 1 point, 1 point, then a -1 point in game week 26. So yeah, not ideal to be honest, because I think he is so attacking that it just really, really annoys me that he just gets unlucky, gets the goals disallowed, or hits the bar, this and that. It's just really, really frustrating. So hopefully he can get a return in this game week, because the only time he did get that massive return, I'm pretty sure it was in game week 23. He got 14 points. I benched him, so hopefully I've started him and he does do well this game week. But we'll move on to the midfield now. We've got Douglas Luiz fresh off his 15-pointer. Yeah, more than happy to have him in my team, especially for this Luton away game. Although Luton have been doing pretty well at home, I guess, against the tougher opposition. They yeah, like I said, they've been doing well. They've only lost 1-0. Don't get me wrong, they're still lost, but they've only lost 1-0 to Spurs at home, 2-1 to Man United. So that was a close game at home. They lost 3-2 to Chelsea at home. They beat Newcastle at home. They only lost 2-1 to City at home, 4-3 to Arsenal at home. Drew 1-1 with Liverpool at home. So they've been doing pretty well against the tougher opposition at home. They've still been losing, don't get me wrong. They've still been losing, but they're not a 4-0 getting spanked 4-0 by teams at home anyway. So Douglas Luiz I'm going to start him because it still is Luton. It still is one of the, I guess, worst teams in the league. And obviously he is on penalties, but he doesn't need them. As you all know, he got 2 goals without scoring a penalty in game week 26. So Luiz is in the team, and to be honest, I'm so happy with him. I was going to go for Bailey or Bowen or someone like that, but I'm just really glad that I did go with Douglas Luiz, because now I've seen him in with like a bit more in detail, and he's getting forward a lot. He's kind of being that midfielder that kind of sits on the edge of the box, maybe late run into the box. So yeah, 9 goals, 4 assists for him this season. So yeah, hopefully he continues and keeps doing the business for me and my team. Cole Palmer comes back into the starting 11 as well, with Brentford away. Brentford have been shipping a lot of goals recently, and I think Palmer can actually be amongst the goals again and continue scoring for Chelsea. He's on pens as well, which is always nice. And And yeah, like I said, he's going to come back into the team, whether Chelsea win the Carabao Cup or not. I think that they will play their strongest team in this game, because it is a week away from the cup. However, they do have an FA Cup fixture at midweek, so we'll have to take that into consideration. If that becomes a game where there's a lot of tackles flying in, we have to keep an eye on Palmer and players like that do have a game in that game week. But for me, my team is kind of mixed between players that do play midweek and players that don't, because obviously the players that do play still have a chance of blanking in game week 29, and the players that don't play have a fixture in game week 29 more than likely. So yeah, my team is definitely mixed up of both them players. Phil Foden is a tough one. It's a very, very tough one, to be honest, because he just scored. He scored a hat trick a few game weeks ago. Yes, he blanked 3 games in a row, not game weeks. And Man United at home, I feel like he did score a hat trick last season at Man United, against Man United. He's a local boy. I just feel like Man United are going to concede in this game, and I think Foden's going to be all part of that, assists, goals, everything. So it is a bit annoying, because I think I do want to take him out for, I guess, the better of the team. I know I did say on my deadline stream that I do like to do my transfers before the games have kicked off for that game week, just so I don't get a bit of bias by watching some of the players play and just being a bit knee jerky. And my transfer was going to be Foden to Heung-min Son. But now I'm thinking, Man United at home, is it that bad a fixture? Man United have just been beat by Fulham. Man City have won a game. Foden scored, albeit it's only been by 1 goal. So that maybe could determine that. Do I really want to go for Foden? They've scored 3 goals in 3 games, Man City, and you expect more from them. Don't get me wrong, you do expect more from them. So potentially, I should just ignore the fact that Foden scored and bring in Son, but I'll have to wait and see on that one. Saka is definite starting for me. Sheffield United away, the guy is on form. He's getting up there. I won't say Salah levels of goal scoring winger yet, but he's having a very, very good goal scoring season. 13 goals, 8 assists. That's 21 returns in 25 games. In terms of expected goal involvements as well, 0.83. So it's almost every game he's getting a return. So yeah, for me, this game week is going to be very, very good for Saka, and definitely a potential captain option too. On the bench, I missed over the defenders, but we've got Doherty and Estupinan. I want Estupinan out of my team ASAP, but for me, I don't really need him this week, so he's just going to sit there. Hopefully, he doesn't lose too much value. And then Garnacho with City away on the bench as well, who I don't really want to play, but obviously, if he does need to come on, he's there to come on. So anyway, that's my midfield. I think it's going to be a big score in midfield. Foden could go to Son, but we'll talk a bit more about that later on in the video. Let's get on to the strikers. So up front, I'll start off with Dom Solanke, Burnley away. I think it is a very, very good fixture for him, and Bournemouth need to get a win, and this is a must. I think this is a must-win game for them, and I think the next 3 games they need to win 2 of them at least. It's Burnley, Sheffield United, and Luton. I'm not saying they're in trouble in the Premier League. I think because Everton have obviously had that points deduction, and there's been basically three worse teams than them. I don't think they're in big trouble, but they are a bit too kind of in and amongst the drop zone for me to say that they're a decent team anymore. I've been saying it all season. They look really good. They look really good, but they're now 14th, which again, it's not too bad, but they haven't won in 7. And these next 3 games are playing teams all below them in the league. They're playing the bottom 3 teams in the league. They're playing all 3 newly promoted sides. And for me, they're must-win games for Bournemouth, so they can just not think about the drop zone. And to be honest, they probably must not lose games rather than must not win, but they need to win, I think, at least 2 of them in order to not fret about staying up or not. Solanke, to be honest, even though they've lost the last 7, he's been doing the business. Goal and assist at Newcastle in 25. He obviously blanked against City in 26. Assist against Fulham in 24. Goal against West Ham in 22. Yeah, he's just been doing the business all season. 14 goals, 3 assists. In terms of expected goals per 90, 0.59. Very, very good for a Bournemouth striker. And to be honest, I am excited to hold him for the Burnley away and a double game week in game week 28 for Luton at home and Sheffield United at home. Hopefully he can deliver because his ownership, is still not that high. He's 23%, but for example, Ollie Watkins is 53%. So nowhere near Ollie Watkins. And yeah, for me, he still can make a big difference to ranks and mini leagues. Next up, my captain. I don't know if I want to do this, but he's got my captain's armband at the minute. It is Erling Haaland, Man United at home. I just think the fact that I didn't captain him last year against Man United at home, where he got a hat trick, that is kind of on my mind still, to be honest. And I know he hasn't been as sharp. He's been missing a lot of chances since he's come back from injury. That I am a little bit worried about him. He's still getting the chances. So in terms of expected goals, 0.43 against Bournemouth, 0.86 against Brentford, 1.71 against Chelsea, where he completely blanked in a double game week. He scored 2 against Everton, 0.68, and then Brentford as well away in game week 23, 0.71. So he's still getting the chances. And yeah, for me, I'm just too scared not to captain Haaland. I'll be totally honest with you. I think Man United have showed that they're not good still. They're not good. Without Højlund, they look a bit dead up front as well. And I think City can put him to the sword. But is there a better captain option? Potentially Ollie Watkins, who plays Luton away. Again, Ollie Watkins is another player that's been on form this season. I feel like we went through an early stage of the season where it was a struggle to find 2 strikers. It was Haaland, no Kane. People were going for Nkunku. People were going for like these random, a bit random strikers, trying to find a striker that could play alongside Haaland, and there was no talk at all about playing free up front. Whereas now, you kind of need to play free up front to fit Solanke, to fit Watkins, Ivan Toney. You've got these big strikers back that are scoring goals, and I guess the midfielders have slowed down a bit. Son obviously went to Asia Cup. Salah went to AFCON. Mane left the league. Mahrez left the league. De Bruyne has been injured. So I think the fact that slowed down has seen an increase in these strikers. And these strikers have been delivering. Like Ollie Watkins this season, 14 goals, 15 assists. That is ridiculous. Like, that is ridiculous. I think Henry did 20 goals, 20 assists one season, and Ollie Watkins can beat that, I think. He's got, 13 games left, 12 games left. I think he can beat that. 6 goals, 5 assists. He can definitely beat that. And for me, yeah, he is definitely a captain option. Unai Emery's got him playing incredibly. I've mentioned this before, but I've always thought of him as more of a winger. I don't think he could play that striker role. I don't think he had the kind of hold up play, the aerial presence. Didn't take penalties as well, which kind of put me off in terms of FPL. But yeah, there's no doubt in Ollie Watkins, and he's a serious captaincy option for this game week. Next up, we'll move on to my potential transfer. So it is going to be Heung-min Son in. I'm just not too sure if I want to do it for Phil Foden, or if I want to do it for Garnacho. I can do it for and then bench someone. But the problem for me is Spurs have Crystal Palace at home, which is a very good fixture. However, they're under a new manager now. They got a draw, I guess, against Everton, which they didn't deserve. I'm going to be honest, they didn't really deserve. But Spurs at home, they've had a 2 weeks break since that loss against Wolves. Son is going to be back. He's been back from Asia Cup. Palace at home is a good fixture. Son loves playing Palace. Like, if you look at Son's goal record with Palace, it's ridiculous. I think he's scored in every home game we've played against them, and near enough every away game. He scored his first goal at the new stadium against Palace. Yeah, Son against Palace is a guaranteed, almost as much as you can guarantee with football. But it's just Foden against United, local lad. It got into my head, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing Phil Foden to Heung-min Son. One of the main reasons is obviously a good fixture against Palace, but then they are guaranteed to have a fixture against Fulham away in game week 29. And then game week 30, they play Luton at home as well. So if I did want a late wild card, that was an option to maybe push it out to game week 31. Yeah, so that's going to be my potential transfer. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please smash a like on this video too. It does help me out a lot. And subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Let's try and get to 2K subscribers before the end of the season. So if you are watching and not subscribed, please do me a massive favor and just hit that subscribe button. It does help me out a lot. And good luck for the game week. Catch you in the next one.